Hello everyone and welcome back to the live coverage of YCS Milan 2019. We're ready for our round 10 feature match and we've got two players representing Germany. Our first contestant, Czora, come on in. How are you doing today, my friend?
It's a great tournament and I had very intense duels and I hope this will be another one.
I think you've got it. What's your current record?
I'm X2 and hopefully I will win this one.
Well, you're going to have to stay in the tournament for the top 32. What was your best YCS finish in the past?
I was top 32 at YCS Utrecht.
The 200th, right?
Right.
Nice one. Well, please take your seat and get ready to play. While I introduce your opponent, Lars, come on in. How are you doing?
I'm fine, really fine, thank you.
So we talked a little bit before the game about your accomplishments, but what's your best tops for Yu-Gi-Oh so far?
I passed tops for like top 4 in YCS Brighton was 2011 and also top 8 in 2015 with Volcanic Hero, so it was amazing and let's see if I can top again.
Well, you seem very confident. Do you think you're going to win this match?
Yes, I think I can win it and yeah, I'm confident for it.
Have you guys played before?
No, never played before, never saw him again before.
Never saw him again. That's already like, that's fighting talk right there. I've already won.
2,000 players, so it's, yeah.
Well, please take your seat and we're going to get ready.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, guys, with that said, we're going to throw it over to our casters, Farfa and Tom.
Welcome back, everyone. It's us again here for day 2.
I just want to say, he said Volcanic Hero, and I was playing, I don't know what he's talking about.
I wasn't sure what the Volcanic Hero consists of.
I don't know what
What's
it is.
What's the fire target for mass change?
I think when it destroys a monster by battle, it draws you a card. It's got 2/6 attack.
Right,
I don't know the name.
Or maybe it's just playing 3 burst tricks. Anyway, so for this Clash of the Titans, we've got Sky Striker Orcust and
it's the very stock standard striker.
Yeah, pretty standard.
It wouldn't say, I think this looks a lot like the winners list from YCS Pasadena recently, but I wouldn't want to be quoted on that, but it looks very similar to me.
Yeah, I think like Kobe Short topping with the winning Pasadena really influenced the Sky Striker Orcust meta, brought it to fruition, I want to say, but this deck.
It never goes away, does it?
True Draco.
Older than Sky Striker.
Yep.
And to be fair, I think it's been represented like in decent numbers at almost every European YCS.
Yeah, it's
since
just
its release.
It's a simple deck that has, you know, about
it has its strategy.
2.5 decision trees per turn, but it does what it does, and it turbos through your deck. He's playing 3 copies of your favorite card.
I think Upstart's my favorite, but you can only play 1.
Okay, well.
But Into the Void may be a close second.
Into the Void, he is really trying to get into those power draw cards. Into the Void, Desires, Duality, and of course, Demise.
Everyone loves Demise.
Yes, not Anime Demise, that draws 5. But
and if you don't use them in 5 turns, then they get discarded.
Yep.
That was quite a bad drawback.
That was a huge like limiting factor as to why I don't think Kaiba wanted to play more than 1, but. For trap
I'm really
cards.
interested in his trap lineup.
Yeah.
So the usual trap lineup of True Draco features a host of floodgates.
About
like,
17.
There could be only 1, and Skill Drain, and the Monarchs Erupt. But we're not seeing it here. We're seeing like just sort of classic like 1 negate, like Crackdown, Judgment, Strike, 2 summon limit, and I feel like Skill Drain is mandatory. I feel like you'd be crazy not to take Skill Drain in your Draco
strategy.
But like. It's almost like he's willing to pit the True Draco cards, like the True Draco engine, head on against other decks.
Because he realizes that if I just make my True Draco deck more consistent, then I'm going to see my diagrams more consistently, and that's just better than Engage.
It's not bad diagram, you know?
Not quite.
Heritage draws 3.
Yes.
Engage draws 1.
Yeah, exactly.
3 is more than 1. I mean,
the maths adds up. It definitely checks out. So this is a bit of a, I guess.
I'm kind of interested to see. I mean, to be fair, it beats against Striker. I don't think the floodgates are that helpful. Against Orcust, they probably are, which is what he's playing against now. So we'll see how it pans out, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about the side deck stuff once we get to game 2, because there's some interesting things in here. But I believe we're good to go to the desk and check out the feature now. So Lars on the right there.
Who gets to go first?
Kai on the left.
Who's going to move?
He has opened the 2 of summon limit, so if he's going first, he's going to be in a pretty good situation. Yep, there you go.
I mean, he's got a lot of draw cards too. Skill Drain, that's a good one.
Skill Drain, Diagram, and Crackdown. Does he have a Diagram in hand? No, so he's probably going to go for the Diagram here.
Skill Drain's quite good.
Skill Drain is, yeah, he actually chooses, did he take, what did he take there? He must have took skill drain, right?
No, I think he took the diagram.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, maybe he just feels confident that his opponent's.
Summon limit will get him there.
Yeah.
I mean, perhaps the lack of floodgates, you might feel like, is okay if you're running. Because Cosmic Cyclone is a card that's so popular at the moment. So you might feel like if you use Cosmic Cyclone, that if everyone's playing Cosmic Cyclone, you just flip a floodgate, they Cosmic Cyclone. Whereas we have. You probably have a host of set cards, and if your power card face down is Judgment or Strike,
you're good to go.
They're not going to just blindly Cosmic. I think that's really risky against True Draco when you're so fearing the Monarchs Erupt. I mean, you know your opponent's not playing Monarchs Erupt when they've got 15 in the extra deck.
He just drew the skill train anyway off the Heritage.
Well, that was the correct decision then.
In hindsight, yeah, sure.
In hindsight, yeah, just draw the skill drain.
Yep. So Heritage drawing 2 from a trap and the spell being sent. And those 2 floodgates, so was that the second copy of Summon Limit I think he got there? Okay, no, Summon Limit, Skill Drain.
I mean, this is just brutal.
Yep, 2 Draco monsters.
Like, it doesn't look like much. Maybe you're hoping that your opponent in this situation just doesn't have any, like, strong floodgates.
Yeah, that's an engage off the top.
Kai, and you're like, okay, maybe I got this, but maybe you don't. Like Skill Drain is crazy good.
So he's, Kai's playing, like, a little bit more tailored to the meta, of course, with his main deck copies of Phantasme. Generally, that's good against everything.
Is excellent against True Draco.
Yeah, unless we see a Freezadon or something being summoned next turn, I don't really think that.
Freezadon is an XYZ.
Oh, monster. Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, never mind. Sorry, it's
for all of the link monsters that True Draco uses.
Does he have any link monsters? He actually has an Apolloza.
Called by the Grave for all of those effects they use in the graveyard.
Yeah, it's not really looking too optimal right now, but he's got an Orchestrator return, so he's going to be able to like try and dig for something. Does he play any? So he's got the Cosmic Cyclones in the main.
He's got 2 Cosmic.
Yep.
So he needs to draw both of them, I think. To have a chance.
Literally both of them, all 2 copies. Upstart in the hand.
But he's going to get to draw a lot of cards.
Yep.
One of the things that can happen with True Draco, I mean, I don't think it will because he's got the diagram and he's now got 2 more True Draco cards, is they can run out of stuff. So they might have their floodgates up, but then you just like clear their monsters. So Widow Anchor is particularly good at that. You take it, you do some damage, and then you give them quite a short clock to actually just draw into any monsters and stop you just attacking them. Because a lot of very powerful floodgates like Skill Drain, Summon Limit don't stop your opponent just attacking with like a single normal summon monster, which is a way to win the game.
Just in a very simplified game state, True Draco can be a little bit weak, but certain floodgates can completely shut you out. However, I will say though, True Draco is extremely scary to have your opponent top deck against you. Like there's like a myriad of cards that are just super good off the top of the deck. Demise, Desires, Duality, like those can just set off a chain reaction where you just start like from nowhere you just regenerate your whole engine. It's really scary.
Against the thing is, like, you say that and it's scary, but against other decks they just have their graveyard full anyway. So would you rather be doing that, or would you rather Orcus? They just have a skeleton already engraved and they don't need to have that.
I don't know, man. Like getting that Demise off the top is trey juicy. Trey juicy.
Okay, it's pretty devastating. They're like, please don't draw Demise.
All right, what's he going for here? A Phoenix?
Probably
Kagari?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a drone. Sorry. Adds back the
here
engage.
Comes the mighty Skill Drain.
Oh yes.
So like Kai, you're like, you didn't have that a second ago. You definitely put that back into your deck, and now it's there.
Oh, look at you. You drew it. Oh, that's a very old copy of Skill Drain. That's an OG one there. Do you think he flips the Summon Limit now?
Was Skill Drain not rare in its first iteration?
Yeah, I think that's it there, right?
That's not rare. That's
Is that a common?
Yeah, that's common.
That's super faded. He's Lars has been around. He's been playing.
I think that's like a championship pack.
Yeah. So do you think he flips the Summon Limit now?
No.
No?
I think you have Skill Drain.
Necessary?
What are you scared of? I mean, maybe you're scared of something. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. He doesn't seem scared enough to flip the Summon Limit.
How about on the resolution of this Rota? Maybe he doesn't want him to like get something into the graveyard. Do you think it's worth using just now?
I mean, perhaps. But you could like let your opponent discard whatever. Because remember, if you summon Greffer, the effect doesn't do anything, so you can still discard a monster for cost. And then you'll just send it to the grave, and then you activate the Orcus effect, and then you've effectively just banished an Orcus monster from your hand, which is not a good trade for you, right?
Yeah.
You might as well just let them do that.
So he allures here, trying to dig for like those main deck Cosmics to, find a way to out this Skill Drain, but it's not really working for him. He picks up a Crescendo, which is, something you'd obviously rather search than...
I mean, realistically, if he lets his opponent do everything under this Skill Drain, what does he do?
it's a good point.
Your
Yeah.
monsters have 1 protection from being destroyed by battle, by the diagram.
Yeah.
So the most attack you can make is like Dingirsu, easily, I think, which is 2/6. He's running Boral Sword and like Zeroboros, but like you could make it, but it just wouldn't do anything helpful. I think Lars, being as experienced as he is probably going to know how to push for game here. I mean, he's got enough stuff, right?
Lars has done really well with True Draco over the past season. I've seen a number amount of profiles of him using specifically just pure True Draco, so he knows all the interactions of Phoenix Recycle and Heritage Draw too. And I think that it's...
I think, so he needs a trap, and he's got a dynamite in his hand, and then that's enough for game. I think 2/8 plus 2/7 plus 2/6 is easily 8,000. And I don't think he's activated Upstart Goblin. So
that's a second diagram there, so he could just like,
yeah,
you know, pop that Phoenix, remove the back row, probably nothing anyway. Well, I mean, you wouldn't, from his perspective, we know it's nothing, but from his perspective, you wouldn't really expect it to be anything relevant at this point. He ashes, and it's not really going to make much of a difference because he's got the second copy. Looks like that's what he's going to go for.
Looks like a pretty dominant first game for Lars.
But this is the thing with decks like True Draco and general sort of anti-meta strategies where like you are always like, I feel like if you win the dice roll, you're basically favored game 1, yeah? Would you say so?
Yeah, like one of the scariest decks, everyone talks about it, like Subterrors. I mean, they never like, you haven't seen them top a tournament for a while, but they're still just terrifying. If you go second against that deck, they go Extravagance, they go their Field Spell. I mean, it's a similar sort of thing. If they're going to set up with Draco cards and a Floodgate, and they've opened a reasonably good hand, it's very, very hard to beat them. But if they go second, then all of a sudden they're, you know, it's just much, much harder.
The thing is, though, like with also I've just realized he dumped the Gizmek with the Foolish, so he is at least going to survive. Oh, Into the Void off the top, another Into the Void, and the Crackdown picked
But
up.
not through these Into the Voids. I mean, oof. He may survive. It depends what he drew. Okay, he's going to survive.
Clears an attack, and I think that do you think there's like an optimal time to drop the Gizmek? Is it maybe like on the last one, or
maybe just not at all? Because you need enough life points to activate both Cosmic Cyclones, and as long as you've got that, then that's okay. So I would activate it if I was going to go below 2,000, which actually he is, so maybe he should have activated it.
what do you think the weakness is of like a deck like True Draco is? Like, why is it not like we see like right now we're looking at this and it's completely dominating this game 1, right? It looks like he's just bullying him at this point. So how come we just don't see more of this deck?
So I mean, to me, the weakness is a lot of a deck like Orcust and Orcust Striker is. To win, it needs to resolve its engine cards, right? I mean, it uses some defensive cards like Ash and whatever, but you don't need those cards to win. But with Striker, with True Draco, you need your engine and you need your floodgates. So I feel like it's just less consistent. Now, if you have both, you're doing great. But if you don't, if you're missing one of those pieces, like if you're missing your engine, then your opponent's just going to attack you. And you can't just normal summon the monsters. The spells don't do anything without monsters, and the monsters can't be summoned without the spells. So you need your engine, and you need like a few of them, and you need some floodgates. So that, I think, is the real weakness, is you need like multiple things working together in order for you to be able to play the game.
Yeah, you really need everything to work out in your favor. Cosmic Cyclone picked off the top here with the Orchestrated Return, so he might be in with a chance.
He's going to think he's all right. He's going to activate it and target that skill drain very happily, and then he will see the summon limit. And
whenever I would be in this situation and my True Draco opponent has a Floodgate with multiple other back row, I'm just thinking to myself, well, as soon as I activate this Cosmic Cyclone, it will be responded by a Solemn Judgment, which has recently come back to 3. So. And he is main decking 3 copies, Lars here, so there's a normal summon of the Harp, and he's gonna try and attempt to like
do something.
Do you think he goes for the Phoenix, or do you think he goes for the Gala?
You can do Phoenix here. So you can do Phoenix. You can do the Phoenix and then the Chain. I mean, you don't have to, I suppose.
He chooses to go for the Galatea instead. Do you think that's correct?
I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to say what's correct when you know there's just no way out. But I mean, now he can't summon any further monsters this turn.
So this is like...
Or use any monster effects. So
Yeah.
it's hard to like say exactly.
Because in hindsight, it wouldn't even matter, right? Like, let's say you like Phoenix, you like try and target a random back row, chain the Cyclone.
So Phoenix
he
is
flips the Crackdown.
Phoenix is the only answer because Crackdown doesn't negate the effect. Remember?
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
if you were Phoenix and you were lucky and you hit the summon limit and then you chain the Cosmic, then you would get something through. I mean, that would be super weak to Solemn Judgment.
Yeah. But he decides to pick up his cards, and we're going to go over to game 2. Now, I think this is a good time to look at the side deck here. So this is what I've been waiting to talk about. Why is Lars running 3 copies of Phosphodyna Pachycephalo?
I don't know.
I do not know. Yeah.
It's definitely like a card that is scary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can protect it with True Draco Apocalypse. Because that card, like, nothing can destroy you. Like, nothing's ever going to attack over it if you have Apocalypse.
Yeah, that is true.
He also has
Half every time.
Crackdown, and he also has Judgment. So between those, like, 6 cards,
At this point, he's just playing pure stun, though, right?
yeah, maybe you're going to protect it. I mean, people in stun run, like, Pachycephalo and Moon Mirror Shield.
Yeah, that's like offsets the
being attacked
negativity.
over. So, I mean, True Draco Apocalypse is kind of like a knockoff Moon Mirror Shield.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're never going to lose a battle, right? With a non-special summon, like a normal summon monster. And then on the flip side, the question is, like, how prepared is Kai for this? He's got 3 twin jamming waves and package tops. And the other thing is, like, you can put in, like, mind control. It's not amazing, but you have the opportunity to just take all of the junk out of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want Called by the Grave. You don't want Phantasme.
That's like 6 easy cards to just
So,
remove instantly.
Yeah, it's not so bad. I mean, Ash is still pretty good.
Yeah, I would probably keep Ash in for all those power spells.
But yeah, so you have the double, like, it's not like in a lot of decks where most of your cards are useful and you have to think quite hard about what to side out. Sometimes you play rogue decks, then you're like, I want to take this out, I want to take this out, I want to take this out, I want to take this out. Because it's just useless, and we saw in the last game. There's no time to use Called by the Grave or Phantasme.
He's definitely built his deck specifically to counter meta decks, the Mirror, the most important one. And, you know, when you get paired up in this situation, you're going to have to, like, site heavily for, like, rogue, I would say, just because, like, you have so much in your main deck that's already kind of there and ready to go.
So, I mean, you were pointing at Imperial Iron Wall. Imperial Iron Wall has the extra bonus of stopping evenly matched as well. I mean, he doesn't have it, but that's quite a nice...
It's a good little, like, what's the word? It kind of, like...
it's a bonus.
Matches the... What's the term I'm looking for? It kind of, like, joins the bridge.
Evenly matches the...
evenly matches.
Matched.
So it deals with, like, the evenly matched, but it also has the bonus of, like, just stopping the engine itself.
Yeah.
So it 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing, right?
I think, yeah, Judgment is, like, the biggest answer to evenly matched in my mind at the moment, because initially when you played, like, trap decks, you had to think so hard about that card and possibly have even specific answers. But now Judgment is a card you would just want to include anyway, and answers it. It's very powerful. But I don't think we're going to see any of those sorts of interactions in this game, because Kai won the dice roll and is probably going to get to go first.
You think he'll choose first? Yeah, I'd say that's...
I would say you would be crazy not to.
True Draco just has, like, a lot of, like, good interactions going second generally.
That's true. That's true.
Diagram popping your things, and the way he's touching his cards here, maybe it feels like he's going first.
I just love to set up with, like...
Yeah, he has decided to let him go first. There we go.
Nasty.
And it resolves draw 3. Oh, this is not what you want to see from your opponent going first. And this is also, like, what you're probably going to be most scared of, I guess, if you, like, decide to, you know, I'll let my opponent start this.
Oh, we see the Dyna.
He's got the Phosphodyna. He's actually normal summoned it. Oh my god. What year is this? Phosphodyna comes down, 3 back row. Can we try, let's see what he's got set here. So there's on
he
the
has got that Disciple, so this seems hard to kill. I mean, you mentioned you can set Phosphodyna, but, like, how can you... Is he expecting to be made to go first?
I don't know. I mean, I thought it was like, you know, this kind of like, you go against a combo deck, they attack your set, like going second, and you just destroy their whole field or something like that. I thought maybe that's what he's trying to go for, but no, it looks like he's just trying to normal summon a Phosphodyna, because...
How do you know you're going first?
Because like he's a true Draco player, so naturally he's just vastly more intelligent than the rest of the meta.
It's just an amazing call. Like, I just can't see how you side this in. You can't be that confident you're going first.
I feel like it is kind of like a a toss up in all seriousness. Like like sometimes like your opponent will like let you go first because, you know, like I said, they don't want to like suffer those interactions that True Draco has when it goes second. But at the same time, like, do you really want this situation to unfold where your opponent's just turboing through these? Look at these spell cards in his graveyard racking up.
He's sided in the Super Poly as well.
Yeah,
So I mean, is he just hedging? But if you're willing to side in Dyna going first, why wouldn't you just be maining Dyna? Like,
just
if you're willing to side in Dyna going second, like, why did you just main it? Oh wow.
No,
but this has paid off huge.
To be fair, for all the cards he's drawn, there's nothing that's actually like super deadly in this situation. Obviously, other than the Dyna, which
I mean, he's got Dyna, and how do you attack over it?
You just normal summon.
But he has True Draco Apocalypse.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah, there he is. It just got updated now. Yeah, he's set the Apocalypse. So yeah, this is a nightmare situation, basically.
I mean, it's not. You do have Engage into Anchor. I'm surprised that Kai's not running the Afterburners. The Afterburners is really popular. He instead chose to go for Jamming Waves.
It kind of, like, I guess, like against a rogue deck, it sort of functions similarly.
They do similar things, but with Jamming Waves, you have to, like, if your opponent's got a very important floodgate, they can just activate it.
Yeah, so because of the non-targeting effect.
Yeah, but with Afterburners, you can destroy. I mean, it's not the non-targeting, it's like the face-up.
Sure.
Because if I see my opponent search Jamming Waves and I go, okay, I'm scared of that Jamming Wave hitting my summon limit, so I'll just activate the summon limit now.
Right, yeah.
But if you search Afterburners, you can always destroy a face-up floodgate as well.
Yeah, regardless of what position it's in. Ash Blossom is top decked here from his draw cards, which is, it's so frustrating to see, isn't it? Yeah. When you see their hand traps past the first turn.
So you see he wants to be able to use the Engage for 3, but I don't see how you can possibly use the Engage for 3, so he's just going to have to
deal with
his losses and use it for 2.
So what do you think he goes for here? The
Widow
Anchor?
Anchor, surely. Maybe the Jamming Waves actually destroys the Dyna, so that's actually better. I lied. I think it's way better. Yeah.
He has skipped past it though, so he's opting to go for the Widow Anchor.
He was going for Widow Anchor. Okay.
I don't know about that. I feel like getting that third effect of the Jamming Wave is just better. It deals with the back row, a random back row.
Yeah. So if he negates the Dyna, he's going to be in real trouble. Because he still has to be able to kill it through the summon limit. But if he just takes the Dyna, I think that's okay. Because then you can just summon a monster and then link.
Yep, just summon that Harper skeleton and
so you can still actually perform a link summon under summon limit, which is quite nice. Normally you can't, because you need to summon 2 monsters and then link, but so now you can get the link. And he's still going to get the Galatea as well, because he'll presumably link for a Galatea.
Yeah.
And then he's already banished Offalure, so he will get the Galatea effect.
I mean, one thing he could do is Apocalypse, like he's doing here. Apocalypse target his spell, and then the spell will pop the Apocalypse, and then the Apocalypse will pop the monster on the field. That way, he's forced to extend into another special summon, and then he can flip summon limit. He's not going to be able to link.
Yeah, I'm interested here as to why he destroyed his own Dyna and not the Symbol Skeleton.
Also, Reborn's coming off the top. I'm not sure.
Because if you destroy the skeleton, you have the summon limit, so there's no way your opponent can link off your Dyna, and there's a solid chance you're just going to get it back.
Yeah, you just keep it.
So that seems a little strange to me, but because I mean, I'm not missing something, right? He has got summon limit face down. How would he ever get the Fossil Dyna off his own board and prevent it just coming back and then
just keeping it? And
he's got it for next.
We're back to square one.
Yeah. I mean, you're way worse than square one because you've used your Engage to try and out the Dyna, and now you have very limited number of Dyna outs.
Yep. What does he pick up here? I think it was a spell card, but yeah, he already has a Demise set from the previous turn that he picked up off the Demise, so he's just going to be able to restock his whole hand. Oh no, he's dropped the Ash on the diagram, so this is going to resolve again for 3. Oh no. Is that another Fossil Dyna? Is that? Please tell me that's another Fossil Dyna.
It's a monster.
I like how you're like
I'm just saying.
That's
I'm
not how
just
TVs
leaning.
work, Tom.
I'm leaning.
Oh, just a second copy. Oh, no.
And the diner now, so the attack decrease from
Apocalypse is already in play.
is remaining.
Yep, so that Heart Horror is actually going to be 17 divided by 2. Solve for X. I don't know what the answer is there.
850.
There we go. So he tanks over for
How much damage?
350.
Hey! So has he got now another... I'm not sure how quickly the cards on the table have updated.
Iron Wall and Judgment were picked up from his hand, it looks like.
So he hasn't got another Apocalypse, so he could just crash the skeleton in. Right?
Literally the only answer...
Oh, but he's got Iron Wall.
The only answer in this situation, I think, is like evenly matched. And he, like, you know, he doesn't play it. So like in a situation like this, like that's really all you could hope for. And better yet, he has Judgment anyway, so you'd somehow need to draw 2.
Well, the thing is, as I said before, so in this situation, I mean, it's probably a moot point. He's got almost everything he needs, and he's not going to get beaten down for a long time. But if you look at this situation and take away the diagram, which will fetch him everything, without the diagram here, it doesn't look like he's winning, right? Because, you know, he saw that. He's just forced his Judgment. Like, if the Fossil Diner gets destroyed by a awesome monster, he has no more monsters. So he's got all of his floodgates, like his Imperial Iron Wall, but no monsters to actually play with. So I mean, he's got the diagram, so that will fetch him the monsters he needs. But without that, he would not be winning. That was just the point I was making in the last game: is you can have everything, but you also need your engine cards too.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, it's not a combo deck, but like you do need like X amount of cards in order to function. You need like 1 or 2 floodgates, 1 or 2 engine cards to keep going with True Draco.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
top decks, the third diagram off the top.
Oh, by the way, last turn he didn't do any damage to his opponent. It was a trick question when you said how much damage did he take, because he played Card of Demise. So the answer was 0.
Okay, look at his life points, 40-75. I love that.
Yeah, I've not seen someone get down to 75 for a while.
Yep.
I don't know if our technical capabilities will let us go to half a life point if he uses another Judgment.
So what happens if you Judgment on 1 life point?
You don't pay any.
Yep, just rounds up.
Yeah.
So that just fun fact for anyone who's wondering, if you ever have a decimal point in Yu-Gi-Oh, it just rounds up. So if you have 1 life point, you can Solemn Judgment infinitely, if you would somehow recycle it.
Yeah, I mean, in any other case, you could keep playing Solemn Judgments as well.
That is true. All right, well, it's looking pretty grim for Kai. I'm just not seeing a way back from here, looking at his list.
Well, he could draw Engage.
Another Engage, draw.
Engage into... And presumably he's sided in the Jamming Waves, right?
Yeah.
So Engage into Jamming Waves and maybe a Cosmic Cyclone.
Little Pachycephalos digging in for some more damage here each turn. It's just like...
He's got a few turns.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, you're normally if you like play... So this is a dangerous thing when like, you know, good quote unquote, good like meta combo decks like have the ability to facilitate floodgates, where they can like, you know, maybe set it with Griffin or something. They'll like stun you for a turn and then just OTK you the following turn. Whereas this kind of like, you know, an anti-meta deck, generally if they stun you for a turn, they sometimes don't have the capability to just finish you off, and you're always in risk of getting top decked.
Yeah. Did he just... Was there just some bluff of evenly matched there, do we think? I don't understand why he flips the Iron Wall now.
Maybe he might have declared battle phase. I can see him smiling, so he's like, maybe he's trying something. And there's another Apocalypse and the shake of the hand. He's Swift Tool. It reveals all those purple cards. Oh, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Yeah, great. That's what you like to see, right?
It is.
All right. Well, that was True Draco in all of its draw card glory with 3 copies of Into Void. So
and the Demise. To more consistently draw... Sorry, Into the Void to more consistently draw the Demise.
Yep.
And Demise more consistently draw the Into the Void.
Is that really...
It's your, like, you just cycle through Into the Void, Demise, Into the Void.
And then eventually you draw a purple card.
Discard your hand twice in the end phase. Why not, eh?
Is that how that resolves? Does it start a
maybe
chain
that's
into the void, chain link
that's
1,
an interesting one, because you know how players sometimes like add a card in their end phase?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, so first I'll resolve Into the Void, and then I'll add my card. And then you're like, no, you activated 2 Into the Void. So you have to do it again.
Oh, no. All right. Well, I mean, did that go how you'd expect it?
I feel like you normally expect a slightly less
one-sided
depressing showing from the Orca Striker deck, but...
He just didn't draw those side cards, really, is what it came down to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested, like, maybe the choice... he had to search off engage. He could have searched jamming waves.
That would have helped a lot, yeah.
But we don't know what he would have hit, because, I mean, it ended out fairly similar. I'm really amazed to see you siding in Diner going game 2, not knowing whether you're starting or not. But I mean, he must have been doing this throughout the tournament. It must have been working.
I need this explained to me. Like I need to know how this works.
Is it like I know I can normal summon it if I go first and set it if I go second?
Yeah, and then protect it with
But surely
Apocalypse?
you can't be worried to say, like, I'm going to set it going second. I'm going to have this, like...
At that point, you play Penguin Soldier.
At that point, you would play Mirror Force. Like, it's a knockoff Mirror Force that you actually have to normal set.
Normal set.
It's literally a knockoff Mirror Force.
I'm having way too much fun with this.
I don't know. I mean, maybe Matt will be listening to us and he will ask us on our behalf, but wow, what a game.
Are we ready to head over to the players now?
I think so, yeah.
Yep, all right. Let's take it over to Matt with the interview.
I'm here with the winner of round 10, Lars, playing True Draco. How do you feel?
Hi, I feel really amazing because Dynamo Fossil was really, really good.
Yeah, that's a throwback. I haven't seen that one in a long time. But I heard Card of Demise is a pretty good card too, right?
Also that, yes.
So what inspired you to play True Draco this weekend?
I'm playing True Draco since 2.5 years, I think. I find actually it's the best deck because it's hit the meta anytime, and you have only to change a few things after the banned list, and then the deck is really amazing because it has no special summon and it's really consistent.
Well, it seems to be doing you very well. You've got a good run for the top 32. Do you think you're going to make it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to make it because I have only to win 1, and I already win like 8, I think. 8. And yeah, I think it's possible, absolutely.
Okay, well, do you have any shout-outs you want to give to friends back home?
Thanks for all, and I will shout out Team Gravity, and yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, well, if you're a True Draco player at home, you're heroes on stage. We'll be back with more dueling action in the near future. Stay with us.